as a much younger man, if someone offered me a good and godly rebuke, I would be like, really? Well, let me tell you what's wrong with you. At least mentally, I would do that. I wouldn't usually do that verbally, but at least mentally. But there's been a few years gone by now, some water under the bridge, hopefully some growth, and actually listening to the Bible when it says, for example, in Proverbs 15, verse 31, one who listens to life-giving rebukes will be at home among the wise. There are so many people, sadly, so many Christians who do not listen to life-giving rebukes. Every once in a while, I still get privately rebuked by good and godly people. Not often, but it does happen. And when it happens now, I always say, well, Lord, what do you have in this for me? Even if there's only 10% that's redeemable and good, I need to learn from that 10%. Okay? That's part of the Christian life. When Paul is talking in 2 Timothy, and he says those famous verses, 16 and 17, all scripture is inspired by God and is profitable for teaching, for rebuking, for correcting, for training in righteousness, so that the man of God may be complete, equipped for every good work. Those are wonderful verses. Now, I kind of glanced over rebuking really quick. Now, there's 4 things there. Profitable for teaching, for rebuking, for correcting, for training in righteousness. 2 out of the 4 things Paul lists are sometimes punitive. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes you don't want to hear it. 2 out of the 4 that Scripture is for: correction and rebuking. Now, that's not to say that 50% of every sermon and 50% of every conversation has to be correction and rebuking. We know that's lopsided. But it's 2 out of the 4 that he lists. And if you can never accept rebuke from good and godly people, you are in a bad way. I know people who cannot receive good and godly rebuke. And that is a tragedy, to walk through life bereft of wisdom because you cannot and will not receive good and godly rebuke. That's a tragedy. Don't be that way. Receive it. Redeem it. God bless.